In the last couple of months, I've been really lucky to be able to work out of a few different locations, and I've really enjoyed it. But there are some things that I've learned already just in the few places that I've worked that I could have prepared for a bit better. So as usual, I'm here to share with you those mistakes that I've made so that next time that you plan on working remotely, whether it's just down the street at a cafe or across the country in a new place, then hopefully these tips help you plan for it a little bit better. Welcome to Suitcase Coder, the podcast. I'm Laura, and I host this podcast where I track my journey from joining a coding bootcamp to becoming a remote developer. My ultimate goal in life is to travel the world and see as many countries as I can, but for now, I'm sharing what I've learned so far to hopefully help and inspire future techies, freelancers, and digital nomads. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get started. So some of the things I will mention will be super obvious, and some of the things will be not so obvious. The first thing I want to talk about is location. From personal experience, you want to make sure that you have not one, but at least two locations that are near each other, that you can work out of. And the reason why I say you need kind of like a plan B location is because you never know what could happen with the first location. It could get packed before you even get there. It could close early on a day unexpectedly. They can go out of internet service, whatever it may be, things happen. And so you definitely don't want to lose a day of work just because that first location that you chose had some crazy incident that doesn't allow you to work there anymore. And the reason why I think it's important to choose a location that's close to your first location is because it happened to me. So I was working out of this one cafe and everything was going grand, but then 2 hours into working there, somebody comes up and said, "Hey, you gotta go. We don't really allow people to sit here all day long." So I had to leave. I had to pick up and leave literally during the middle of a meeting, and I was scrambling to find a place that had internet connection, enough locations, parking, all of this stuff, and it just wasn't fun and added a lot of extra stress that I definitely could have avoided had I planned it a little bit better. So just for like your sanity, if you can, try to choose two locations near each other that you could potentially work out of, and that way if something happens to the first place, you can move on to the second place pretty seamlessly. Second thing I want to talk about is what the location that you want to work out of should have kind of as a base minimum in order for you to work out of there effectively. So some of the things are going to be super obvious, but I have to point them out anyway. And the first thing is going to be plugs. You have to have enough, and you want to make sure that those plugs in this location are accessible to you. So not just like hidden behind the bar. You want plugs accessible to you. You want plugs that are working. And one thing to consider if you are traveling abroad is to make sure that you have adapters for the plugs of the location that you're going to. Remember, not all countries use the same outlets, so you have to just keep that in mind if you are planning to travel outside of the country. Another thing with the plugs is obviously you want to take your chargers, but I'll get to the things that you want to take here in a second. But just make sure that the place has plugs that you can use at any point throughout your stay there. The second thing that's going to be extremely obvious and extremely helpful and useful, and you can't really work out of a location that doesn't have this, and that's going to be good internet connection. Not just good, not high speed, but stable as well. You want to make sure that no matter what happens throughout the day, you can actually commit to working from there. If your internet isn't stable enough, then you cannot tell your employer that you can actually work remotely, because if your job, and I can almost assume that your job will require some kind of internet connection. If your job requires it, then you need to have really good internet, and internet that's not going to be cutting off every couple of hours or every couple of days. You want to make sure that you choose a location that's going to have a strong, stable internet. And again, all of these things are a simple phone call away. So if you can call ahead to the place and ask about these things in advance, it's going to make your life a lot easier as a remote worker, specifically as a remote developer if you are learning to code. Another thing that I didn't really consider until very recently when I was working out of a cafe is that you want to choose a place that doesn't have too many distractions, but on the flip side, a place that's going to allow you to work and make phone calls if you need to. So recently, like I said, I was working out of a cafe, but it ended up being more of a restaurant. And so servers were coming up to my table almost every 20 minutes, making sure I was okay, had enough water, etc. They were super friendly. I felt bad for sitting there all day long. Turns out it wasn't not the best working location, but they were super friendly. However, the place was extremely loud. They There was a lot going on. The servers were coming in and distracting me every couple of minutes. People were dropping things. It was just not a working environment at all, at all. Not to say that those locations don't exist. They definitely do exist. I just didn't seek one out, and I assumed that this place would be a great working location, but it just wasn't. It just worked like a plain restaurant slash bar. People were drinking. It was loud and noisy and messy, and it was hard to get any work done. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure that the place that you want to work out of has a good mix of being able to actually work out of there, but then also you don't want to go sit in a very, very quiet, serious location if you're going to be taking phone calls all day, and just like you don't want others distracting you by being loud and obnoxious and kind of interrupting you unknowingly, you don't want to be that person who's taking super loud phone calls or in the middle of a meeting and just distracting others from their time at that location as well. And of course, like in my mind, I'm thinking of different cafes, co-working spaces. You want to make sure that you have a location that allows for that mix of sitting down and getting like work done, where you can just plug in and work and be a little bit more focused, but also, make calls and do what you have to. And of course, this is going to change from job to job. So depending on what your remote job is, things are going to look a little bit differently. But talking as a developer, you definitely need times when you need to focus and just code on things. And there's going to be times when you need to talk to your team and talk things out and work things out, right? So it's definitely a balance of that. Another thing that sounds super silly to consider is you want to choose a spot that's not going to be like environmentally uncomfortable. So you don't want to be sitting in the direct sunlight all day, because we all know that it's actually impossible to work on your computers outside because the sun doesn't allow you to see your screen at all, even if you wear sunglasses. So you don't want to be in the direct sunlight. You also don't want to be under direct air conditioning all day long because that can get pretty chilly. You don't want to be in the middle of the way. Like, you just simple things that you want to make sure that when you are working, you are in a comfortable location. Another thing to consider is what should you as a remote worker take with you to these remote locations to work out of. Again, there's going to be obvious things like any tools that you need for your trade. So whether it be a computer, a set of headphones, an extra iPad and drawing, extra notebooks and papers, whatever tools you need to get your work done and to do your work well, you need to bring with you. Computers, chargers, headphones, sunglasses, an extra sweater. Again, for those environments that you can't really control, you want to bring sunglasses, an extra sweater, maybe some water, some snack. You should also make sure that all of your equipment that you are taking is fully charged. Of course, we talked about having plugs there, but in the rare cases that the plugs don't work, you want to make sure that your equipment is fully charged and you're not having to wait for your things to fully charge before you open up and set up. Another thing you want to take is a set of headphones, because those are going to save you so much from a lot of the noise that does happen that you can't really control. And the last thing that I want to say is that you want to make sure that you are realistic with your time. Make sure that if you are working remotely, you are working first and being remote second. It is your work that's going to allow you to work remotely and live remotely. So make sure that you are prioritizing your work no matter what before you think about trying to make working while being on the beach. Just doesn't work. Don't try to multitask. Focus on work and then take your afternoons and go enjoy the beach if you can or if you want to. That's really it for working remotely. I will definitely be adding to this list of tips that I think can help you work remotely, and hopefully we together become even more of digital nomads and we get to travel a little bit more and experience different places and learn new things and meet new people, and it will be amazing. So thanks again for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to subscribe and rate my podcast because it does help. And if you're watching on YouTube, then make sure to subscribe to that as well. Again, thanks for listening and hope to meet you on some future travel. That would be awesome. Bye.